Hello, Sally here.
And I'm Steve.
Africa has always been on our bucket list since we were very young, hasn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
However, due to our busy professional lives, we just never thought we'd have enough time for anything else, especially planning an international trip to Africa. In our spare time, my husband and I like to watch a lot of African wildlife safari programs. We read a lot in National Geographic. We also love wild animals on social media and imagine ourselves, can you imagine this? Being in the presence of these amazing wildlife and experiencing our really dream safari in Africa.
So one Monday evening, out of the blue, I came home from work and said to my wife, guess what? I took 2 weeks off from work and we are going to Africa. She was emotional and excited to hear the news. Not having travelled to any country in Africa before, we were unsure of what to expect and how much the trip would cost. I looked at many safari packages online, but none of them seemed like a right choice for us.
Naturally, I took the role to search and plan the trip for us. Talking to one of my colleagues at work, she referred me to Wito Africa Safaris. So immediately we started to research them. We read through their reviews, social media platforms and their websites. We finally submitted a trip request by email and immediately we were contacted by the owner, Abdulli. We set a time to speak with Abdulli on the phone and he guided us through the planning process. He recommended the best places for us to stay and visit, all based on our interests and our preferences. As he was sharing his own experiences being on many safaris, we discovered things that we never ever read in travel books. His personal insights about Africa's local movements of wildlife like wildebeest migration were so authentic that we felt like we were already there. Within a short time, Wito Africa offered us a couple of tailor-made itineraries along with pre-planning information, and we felt confident and we really knew what to expect.
As we were preparing to go to Africa, Abdulli checked in to ensure everything was going as planned. We arrived at Kilimanjaro Airport and were warmly welcomed by our private guide Josh. The guide helped us with our luggage and got us seated in our custom-fitted luxury Land Cruiser equipped with enough legroom, charging station for our camera, equipment and a mini fridge. After a quick briefing, meet and greet, Josh drove us to our beautiful accommodation in Arusha. It was nestled in the middle of a coffee plantation. What a treat! We were fed a delicious 3-course dinner and then went to bed really excited in anticipation of seeing our first wildlife in the wild.
The next morning, we were greeted by Josh after breakfast at the lodge. It was nice to really see a familiar face again, and we were particularly happy that our guide was going to be with us throughout our 12 days on safari through Tanzania. From the first day, we saw endless wildlife in large numbers, from giraffes, elephants and zebras to all of African big cats, lions, leopards, cheetahs. Without forgetting buffalo and rhino. We weren't expecting to see so many animals and get so close. Our private guide was always on time and knew where to find the best sightings without the crowd. We were so impressed by his knowledge of all the wildlife, birds, trees and even the diverse cultures.
Actually, we were blown away by the level of luxury and 5-star service that was offered in our safari camps. The tents were spacious, with ensuite, beautifully designed, like glamping, and we felt so safe. It was the staff members who made our experience at each accommodation so special, and one that we will cherish for the rest of our lives.
Absolutely. I can't say enough good things about my dream safari with Wito Africa and the team. Every penny we spent on this trip was so worth it, and I'd do it all over again. Again, we would like to thank Abdulli for his constant checking in to make sure that our expectations were met and I would say exceeded. I highly recommend using Wito's Africa for your personalized wildlife safari experience and absolutely unique African vacation. We really can't wait to work with Abdulli again in the very near future and plan our next big adventure to the southern part of Africa.
Absolutely. Can't wait.
Wito Africa Safaris. The African wilderness is calling.